Welcome to our channel. At TIME100 Gala, honorees pay tribute to the power of endurance. Honorees at the 2025 TIME100 Gala gathered at Jazz at Lincoln Center on Thursday night to pay tribute to the people and causes that have shaped their life's work. Industry leaders were among the hundreds of guests joining them in New York City to celebrate this year's TIME100, a list that brings together influential voices, cultural icons, and global changemakers. Noah Argamani, who was abducted by Hamas on October 7, 2023, and held hostage for 245 days before her rescue, joined actor, author, and producer Demi Moore, former professional tennis player Serena Williams, education advocate Angeline Muramirwa, and actor and entrepreneur Blake Lively in delivering tributes at the event. Time's CEO Jess Sibley introduced Argamani, the first to give a tribute that evening. Noah Argamani. Argamani used her speech to deliver a heartfelt tribute to the 59 hostages still held in Gaza by Hamas, including her partner, Avinatan Or. "A year ago, I didn't know if I would make it out alive. I was lucky I was rescued. But Avinatan is still there, fighting to survive," she said. She described the conditions in the tunnels where they are held as being, without any light, with barely any food, struggling just to stay alive. The former hostage urged the audience to use their voice and influence to keep global attention on those still in captivity. "Help make sure that the world will not look away," she said. "We need them home now, before it's too late." Speaking after the activist, Sam Jacobs, Time's editor-in-chief, said, "We are grateful not only because Argamani is free, but because she is a powerful voice for freedom around the world." Demi Moore. TIME100 innovator and the evening's host Snoop Dogg introduced Moore, the second honoree to give a tribute that evening. Moore, who earned a Golden Globe Award and an Oscar nomination for her role in the 2024 film The Substance, reflected on the power of self-acceptance. "When we embrace who we are, where we are, exactly as we are, we stop missing the moment we're in," the actor said. "The truth is you can't run out of time if you're living in the present." Known not only for her work on screen but also as a producer and author, Moore spoke candidly about her personal evolution, describing her path towards self-acceptance and the time she once lost stressing over things that haven't happened or reliving things we've already survived. She closed with a tribute to the journey itself. "So here's to the moment we're in, to the weird, winding, beautiful road that brought us all here, to not having it all figured out, but being brave enough to keep showing up anyway." Serena Williams. TIME100 pioneers Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier introduced Williams, a 23 Grand Slam champion, as the next honoree to give a tribute. The athlete and entrepreneur spoke about the importance of changing the conversation around what women can achieve in the sporting world. "For most of my life, I've been a part of a world that didn't always expect much from women, especially not from a black girl from Compton with big dreams and an even bigger serve," she said. "But if there's one thing my parents taught me, it's that the rules weren't built for us. So sometimes you have to create your own." Williams reflected on how her early goals grew over time, shifting from personal victories to systemic change. "When I was a little girl, I dreamed about winning Grand Slams. But as I grew older, I realized my dreams were, well, bigger than that," she said. "I started dreaming about changing the conversation, about making people see women's sports and women's athletes completely different. And it was about proving that passion, power, and emotion weren't weaknesses, but our greatest strengths." She highlighted her own ventures, including helping to launch the Toronto Tempo, Canada's first WNBA team, and supporting emerging women-led leagues. Williams closed by celebrating a generational shift in the value placed on women athletes and the new foundations being built. "It's happening at every level," she said. "College athletes, especially young women, are learning what I had to figure out the hard way, that their name, their image, their story has value, that they deserve to profit from their own hard work." To the next generation watching, we're not just opening doors for you. Of course, that'd be too simple. We're building whole new houses. Because when you bet on